Teacher of the Year is presented by Bank of Guam, Cars Plus, and the KUAM Care Force. Thanks to our community partners, Cabo Select Care, IP&E, Addis Trust and Investment, Circle K76, and Cabo's Insurance. In 2009, the Foundation for Public Education Act was created to allow the Superintendent of Education to establish a public, nonprofit corporation separate and apart from the Government of Guam and Guam Department of Education. The corporation would be known as the Foundation for Public Education, Inc. The Foundation accepts private gifts, donations, endowments, services in kind, grants, and other money which may be offered in support of GDOE. It was in 2014 current Superintendent John Fernandez appointed board members who'd assist in bringing innovative ideas and projects to fruition for the betterment of DOE public school students. It is because of the Foundation for Public Education that this year's GDOE Teacher of the Year is made possible.
Friends near and far, good evening and hafa-day. Welcome to the 2022 Guam Department of Education Teacher of the Year Awards. I'm Jason Salas from KUAM News, and this is a special night of recognition that will be, without a doubt, leave you inspired as you'll meet 6 exceptionally selfless educators who are dedicated to shaping young minds. You're also going to hear from GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez and the Guam Education Board, the chairwoman of the Foundation for Public Education, and Bank of Guam Chief Operating Officer Maria Leon Guerrero, the 2021 Teacher of the Year, Dr. Benji Santiago, our generous sponsors, as well as being treated to a very special culture performance by the Natibu Dance Academy. The excitement will culminate in our awarding of the 2023 Teacher of the Year, who is going to walk away with a valuable prize package, including an amazing vehicle courtesy of Cars Plus. Let's begin tonight's show now with the aforementioned Guam Department of Education Superintendent John Fernandez and Mark Mangiola from the Guam Education Board.
Hafa-day, and congratulations to our 2023 Guam Teacher of the Year. First of all, let me just thank all of our teachers in all of our schools across this island for all the hard work that you have done to help us get through COVID-19, to focus on teaching and learning, and then to really help welcome our kids back to the classroom. This really has been a moment for all teachers to shine, and I'm so proud of all of you who have really stepped up and ensured that our kids have a place to go now that we're out of COVID-19. I want to thank everyone who went through this competition, especially all of our finalists who have looked forward to showcasing the very best of teaching in our schools and really representing yourselves and all of your colleagues in all of our classrooms. So thank you for stepping forward and going through this very challenging, prestigious competition. And then, of course, to our Teacher of the Year, really applaud you for being willing to step forward, not just to be recognized, but to represent Guam, represent our schools, and represent our teachers in Washington, D.C. at Teacher of the Year events and throughout our community. We are so appreciative of KUAM, Bank of Guam, Cars Plus, and all of our sponsors for making today's award ceremony a reality and a possibility, as they've done each and every year that I've been superintendent. When I first came on board in 2012, there were a few years where we hadn't been able to recognize a Guam Teacher of the Year, but I made it a priority. And so I'm very proud to know that we have had 8 Teachers of the Year since my coming on board. And I look forward to many more. Recognizing the Guam Teacher of the Year is really not just to recognize one person's contribution, but to think about the contribution that all of our teachers make to our children's lives each and every day. So thank you for your commitment and sacrifice, your hard work, your dedication. And I couldn't have done anything in my job here as superintendent without your support and your leadership in our classrooms. So thank you, Siduas Maasi, and congratulations once again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are excited that everyone is here to witness and celebrate the announcement of the Teacher of the Year Award. As you know, our educators and our teachers deserve all the credit for all the work that they do to educate our children. Remember, teachers plant the seeds of knowledge that will grow forever. On behalf of the Guam Board of Education, undangkulo na sudus maasi and congratulations to all our educators, our teachers, especially our honorees tonight, the Teacher of the Year.
All right, so now let's go ahead and get to it. Let's introduce you to the first finalist. This is Joy James Ada. Oh, beg your pardon. We're going to go to the chairwoman of the Foundation for Public Education. How could I forget? Our friend Maria Leonguro. Here's Maria.
The Foundation for Public Education was incorporated in 2014 as a private nonprofit organization. We envision a future where Guam's public schools are the cornerstone of our island's economic prosperity, preparing our students to succeed in work and life, and to contribute to the strength of our community. Teachers are such a huge part of that equation, which is why the Foundation has supported the Teacher of the Year celebration as our signature annual event. The first toy gala that the Foundation put on was in 2015, and we've done it every year since then, with the exception of 2020 due to the pandemic. I wish all the finalists the best of luck this evening, and I don't envy the judges one bit for having to select a winner amongst all of you. I want to thank our corporate sponsors without whom none of this would be possible. Our presenting sponsors, Bank of Guam, Cars Plus, and KUAM, and our silver sponsors, SPPC, 76 Circle K, Ada's Trust and Investment, IP&E, Calvo Select Care, and Calvo's Insurance. Undangkulo na sidus maasi to all of you. Thank you for celebrating our teachers and investing in the education of our children.
We, of course, could never forget Maria and her very fine, tireless work at the Foundation for Public Education. All right, as I was saying, here's our first finalist, the very lovely Joy James Ada. She is from George Washington High School. Joy, congratulations and good evening.
Thank you so much, Jason. It's good to see you.
Okay, I have known you for better than 3 decades, and I know that music is the heart of you. You know, it's something that I know is never laborious to you, and I can only imagine that passing on that wisdom and that passion to young people is an amazing blessing, but also an amazing challenge.
Well, first of all, it's a dream come true to be a music teacher. Like you said, I've been singing and doing music since I was 7 years old. It's something that my entire family does. So to be able to wake up every day and teach music is a dream come true. It's actually a little bit challenging because this generation I've found has not necessarily been the quickest to kind of been like, I want to sing and shine. They're more apt to being on their phones, and I'd be a YouTube star. So it's been a little bit of a challenge to push them outside of their box. But once we do, once we're able to break through that barrier and open up the doors, they're really excited and receptive and really, have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Well, education is also, I like how you use the word generational, because education runs in your family, and your mom is a longtime public education teacher. What does it mean for you and other members of your family to continue the family business, as it were?
Well, it actually started with my grandmother. My grandmother, she was a Chamorro language teacher with the Guam Department of Education. Then came my mother, then came my sister, older sister, then my younger sister, and then I was the last of the bunch to join. So it means a lot. I have really learned from them, and I honestly am a result of everything that they have passed down to me and everything that I have seen them set examples for. So it means the world to me to be able to be sitting here to honor them and everything that they've done.
Mm-hmm. Now, we know all about GW pride, and the Gecko family is, talk about generations deep. Every time like a GW teacher is up for this prestigious award, there's so much pride there. What have your fellow faculty members and students, what have they had to say about this honor?
Well, first of all, my students have been amazing. So if any of my students are watching, I want to say, hey, thank you to them. They have really been such cheerleaders to me. They have stopped me in the halls. Every time we see them in the class, they've said, Miss Ada, is it done yet? But the faculty have been so supportive of, most of all, my admin. I want to shout out to my admin, Mr. Fulo, Ms. Sarasola, Mr. Castro, Mr. Dela Cruz. They have been enduringly supportive in what has been an incredibly challenging year, not just for me, but for everyone at the teacher level, student level, all around. So all the teachers at GW, the admin, I'm so thankful to be representing them. I'm so nervous.
Not at all. So, okay, final question, and we only got 15 seconds, but should you bring this award home to GW Mingila, what would this mean for the school and for you personally?
It would mean the world. Like I said, I'm super blessed by the amazing teachers that are there, the incredible students, the admin, and of course my family. So all around, to be able to represent them and to shine a light on them would be the best gift ever.
All right, so Joy James Ada, the pride of the home of the Geckos. Let's learn more about Joy.
My name is Joy James Ada. I am a choir teacher. I teach beginning and honor choir at George Washington High School. I'm actually dual certified, so I'm certified in language arts. So I started as a teacher in language arts, but then I went back, got certified as a music teacher, so now I currently teach choir.
Ada, who has been teaching with the Guam Department of Education for the past 8 years, describes her teaching style as spontaneous.
I don't want to use the word random, but it's actually very spontaneous, and I try to be very interactive. I try to make sure that the students are always moving around at some point in the class. I think that the best learning happens when they're moving and they're actually not realizing they're learning. So I try to keep it very fun, engaging, silly sometimes, keeping them on their feet, like not really knowing what they're going to expect. Turning something as simple as choir into something like a CD toss outside that I did earlier. That's what I try to do.
When COVID hit, she, like majority of her fellow teachers, had to shift to online instruction and hard copy.
I actually enjoyed online a lot. The students were not able to sing as much because of the way the technology, there's always delays in Zoom whether you're doing it singing. However, we were able to find different ways to do music, and it was a lot more fun. So I had different interactive activities, opportunities for us to do different things that I normally wouldn't be able to do in the classroom.
Returning back to the classroom this year, the biggest challenge for her
Is the face mask, because I teach choir, right? And so one of the things with choir is you have to be able to sing, and singing isn't just about the sound coming out of your mouth. It's about what you're shaping with your face and your voice. And as a teacher, when I teach, I want to be able to see them, not only hear them, but it's important. So this has been the biggest barrier.
For Ada, the role of a teacher is to provide a safe space for her students to grow once they walk through her doors.
I tell them, be yourself, be who you are, just be you. And you can thrive in the class in any way, shape, or form. Just be yourself. I also think a teacher is a cheerleader, somebody who just cheers them on. When they're feeling down, we can see it. And we can encourage them and say, good morning, how are you doing? How's your day? You know, don't be necessarily this big confidant, but be an encourager and a supporter of them. Also, other than academically, we're there to guide them, and we're there to help them in whatever content we are blessed to be teaching. And so our job is to find the most fun ways to engage them and to interact with them and allow them to be able to learn the content and have a good time at it too.
Hafa, my name is Joaquin Cook, President, CEO of Bank of Guam, and Bank of Guam is proud to once again be a sponsor of the Teacher of the Year Gala. Bank of Guam has sponsored Teacher of the Year since its inception in 2015. So of the gala itself, I believe that's 7 galas, because we didn't have one in 2020. So about 7 to 8 years since the beginning. I would say the program itself is important more to recognize teachers and what they do, but I think the real importance is that of the teachers, right? And I think this is a way of recognizing all the good things that teachers do for our community. As far as the prizes go, we help sponsor the winner to go to the national competition in Washington. I think it's in Washington. In other ways, we let the committee borrow our Maria Leon Guerrero to run the gala. So that's our contribution for the last 7 years. But really, we just do what we can to financially support the event and give where we can to help make the event successful. Teachers do great work. Teachers have the responsibility to mold and build the island's leaders, the community's leaders, and business leaders of tomorrow. So by recognizing the best and the brightest whose role it is to create and grow the best and the brightest on our island, I'd like to thank them for all their hard work. I'd like to thank the teachers for all that they do. and really congratulate all the nominees for this year's Teacher of the Year. Good luck to all of them.
We are now introducing you to our second of our 6 finalists, and for that we have some Southern style. Talofofo Elementary School's Stephane Concepcion, a daughter of Inalahan. So Hafaday.
Hafaday, Jason.
Biba Tatao South.
Biba.
So how have you been since the announcement that you were announced a finalist? I was just asking you, do you and your fellow finalists know each other? And you said none of you knew each other before this.
No, none of us knew each other, but we built this really amazing friendship within the time. We've encouraged each other through all the interviews, through all the observations, and even KUAM's recording, and we just uplift each other and motivate each other, and we're like, hey, you did really well in your interview, we read it, and all of us are so different, but we have such amazing teachers, honestly, in this finalist, and everybody's so special in their own way, and the bond that we built, we even tried to go together, and we had dinner together, and we found out we're all the same, we're all going through the same thing. It was so amazing.
And that's the camaraderie of all public school teachers.
Yes, when everybody comes together, it's just like teachers, I just told them that this morning, we're all winners no matter what, because when we got together, it was just like a bunch of teachers getting together, talking, enjoying themselves. We had so much fun getting to know each other, and we found so many amazing things about ourselves, and all the hard work we've been doing was really amazing.
Now, Stephanie, you teach 4th grade.
Yes.
Very, very challenging grade. Children are at a very specific type during their development. So what are some of the challenges of teaching kids at that particular age, but also what is so rewarding to you as, being such a influential part of their life?
4th grade is kind of hard teaching. I mostly taught 1st grade, and this was my first year in a long time coming back to the intermediate. But I was blessed with such amazing students. I mean, they've been in this journey with me too, and it's all about them. And yes, sometimes they're 10-year-olds, so they're really a bunch of joy, and they need a lot of refocusing sometimes, but that's just how kids are, and that's what we're there for, to encourage them to do their best. But if you find their interest, I think that's what helps. Like my kids dance every morning to motivate their brains, and I tell them, and they're like, oh, we don't dance, but I was like, yes, just do it, it motivates your brains. And then they love it. Like everybody dances now, like my whole class dances, and we had only half dancing in the beginning, so they really like it.
Bonus, get everybody dancing every morning. Okay, now Stephanie, I want to ask you if you can look into that camera right now, because now that we all know that you teach elementary school and you're an outstanding educator, there's probably many of your students right now, it's not too late for 4th graders to be watching this. They're probably watching live on YouTube. What would you like to say to them about what this honor means to you and how you represent them?
This honor is actually for them. I did this all for them because they've been my supporter through the whole process. They've been encouraging me, and as much as I encourage them, we have this saying: in order for me to be Teacher of the Year, there will be we have to be Students of the Year. So that's how we motivate each other through the whole process. And this is all for them and for my school. Hi, 4th graders.
Very, very true. So, Stephane Concepcion of Talofofo Elementary School. Talofofo Elementary, stand up. Cheer on your teacher, because let's find out more about Stephanie.
Thank you. My name is Mrs. Stephane Concepcion. I'm a 4th grade teacher at Talofofo Elementary School. I've been teaching for the Guam Department of Education for 16 years.
Concepcion is one of 6 truly deserving finalists for this year's GDOE Teacher of the Year Award. Her passion for teaching was inspired by something in her life.
As a child, my grandmother and my parents always instilled that education is very important. And for me to always value education, and then my 1st grade teacher, Miss Wesley, she made learning so much fun that I didn't even think I was learning. I just thought it was fun, so she made me develop the love of learning. And my Auntie Arlene took me to her classroom every school year to decorate her classroom. And then because we lived in the same house, she was always working for her students, and I saw that impact that she had. So I had someone that showed me the appreciation for education, the love of learning, and the impact it had. And those are the reasons why I wanted to become a teacher.
Concepcion says her teaching style really all depends on the students she has that year.
It changes every year. I try to get to know my students first and then adapt to all their different learning capabilities, and provide as much assistance and different instruction as I can for them.
When asked if there was a specific moment in her career that made her realize she should be a teacher,
That moment when I became a curriculum coordinator and I was outside of the classroom, I saw all the different impact I could do for teachers, but I was missing all the impact I was making on children's lives. And I returned back to the classroom because of that reason. I just wanted to be able to teach the students, and that's when I realized that I was meant for the classroom, to be with the kids.
she said when her name was called as a finalist for Teacher of the Year, she was in complete shock.
My hands were shaking, my legs were shaking. I was just surprised that I made it that far, because there's just so many outstanding teachers out there that work so hard, and I know that I didn't get here all by myself.
The hard work that a teacher puts in and day out does not go unnoticed.
The role of being a teacher is collaborating and advocating for the love of learning as a district, as a school community, parents, faculty, staff, and students, all working together to ensure that our students become lifelong learners, and that being a teacher, know that a child's success, no matter how big or small it is crucial for them to become lifelong learners, and us teachers, we're just the guide for them.
I am Joyce Chrysostom of Cars Plus, and we are proud sponsors of the Teacher of the Year. Well, Cars Plus got involved in 2014, and in that year, the Foundation for Public Education had started, and I was one of the 9 board members that Superintendent John Fernandez actually asked. We believe that the Teacher of the Year really encompasses a lot of what the teachers do, and looking at all the teachers who are being nominated, we think that it's really the purpose of it is to encourage teachers to continue to better themselves every time. The teacher are encouraged to do more, be creative and do more for the students, and it's just great for the community to know and understand just the quality of work our teachers actually provide to our students. We are happy to provide a vehicle for the Teacher of the Year, and what comes with the vehicle is Cavo's Insurance has been very generous since 2014 to provide the insurance for the vehicle. And IP&E, on the other hand, you can't move without gas, so IP&E is very gracious and generous with donating a gas card to the Teacher of the Year. Well, first of all, congratulations to the finalists. This is a really exciting time, and as we say, it's a tempun minago for all of us here on Guam to actually have our teachers step up, be acknowledged, and share to the community just how they really are in the classroom, and also what they do for our students, because teachers are really like parents. They nurture our children. They pick up after they've left the home. They love them. They help them in education and sports, and I think spirituality as well, and to help one another, even if they're just students, but to look at the needs of one other student who may not be doing as well. So I think overall it's just a great feeling knowing that the Teacher of the Year and all the other teachers, they are the mentors, I think, for future teachers. And we like that to continue. We like our students, our kids to grow up just knowing that other kids growing up as well will learn and will be loved in the classrooms.
All right, thank you. Very inspiring words there from Auntie Joyce. Okay, I'm going to read the teleprompter, and it says, here is our next finalist, Miss Tanya Santos Anderson from Agata Johnson Middle School. And I'm reading that very specifically because Tanya is a reading teacher. So, Miss, how did I do?
Very well.
Thank
very
you.
well.
Thank you. It's very nice to get kudos. And, and kudos to you because being a reading teacher these days in an era where, kids have 5, 6, 7 different screens and everybody's moving to, video and virtual reality and, and pictures and everything like that. Some people say reading is a lost art. I'm sure you would disagree.
I totally do disagree. It is very hard to keep our students engaged, with reading. It can be very challenging. There's, like you said, so many screens and different things that they can actually use now. So getting them to actually read a book can be challenging, but I think if we introduce the right book to them, then for the most part, they'll enjoy it. They'll read it.
Now, you also teach reading at the 6th grade level.
Yes.
Which has its own distinct set of challenges because that's obviously beyond phonics and basic, sentence structure and, getting into more complex stories and, getting into the literature side of it. Yes. So what about that kind of work, is very appealing to you and made you want to do reading?
Truth be told, on a serious note, not grading any essays anymore.
Okay.
but no. This is my 2nd year teaching reading, so it has been a little different for me, trying to find the right things to get our kids involved in and wanting to read. So it's a challenge, nowadays. So it's just trying to get them to enjoy that.
Well, clearly you're very, very good at it because now you're a finalist for Teacher of the Year. So what has it meant to you now, being, you've been at GDOE for 9 years, you've been teaching for 9 years, now in this capacity for 2 years. How has that transition been and what makes this role so meaningful?
Just
you can get emotional if you want. Totally cool.
Just actually, with everything that we have been through, with the pandemic and everything, and just getting recognized, it's hard. There's so many good teachers out there, amazing teachers, the team of teachers that I work with at Agata. And so having, been recognized for this has just been, I'm super grateful and still unbelievably shocked that I've actually made it to this point.
Well, very, very well deserved, and congratulations to you and the Agata Johnson community.
Thank you.
And you know what? Tanya is opening stories to everybody that she teaches, and here is Tanya's story, so please check it out.
My name is Ms. Santos. I'm currently a 6th grade reading teacher here at Agata Johnson Middle School, and I am on Team Goonies.
Santos Anderson, who has been teaching on Guam for 9 years, is on her 2nd year as a reading teacher. She said her desire to become an educator stems from
my 5th grade teacher. I remember her so well, and when I run into her, I'm just like, oh my gosh, Miss Cruz, Miss Arlene Cruz. She was my 5th grade teacher, and she was so amazing. She really left an impact on a lot of her kids, and so with having that kind of teacher really allowed me to want to become a teacher. In addition to that, I had the opportunity to go into the classroom and volunteer when my son was actually in high school. And I ended up volunteering in an elementary environment. Little did I know I'd be teaching middle school, but here I am now, and that's kind of what led me to become a teacher.
Like many teachers, Santos Anderson believes the setting in which a child learns is vital.
If you do look around my classroom, I have some motivational quote posters up. and then just a lot of books, right? I'm a reading teacher. I have to ensure that I have the materials for my students, you know, so that they're able to use what I have in the classroom. I think it's important, you know, to have these materials and things, because I think it helps sometimes motivate kids, especially if they're sitting in the classroom. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, reading, some kids don't find reading interesting, so I think that some of the information and some of the posters that you'll see in my classroom kind of help with that.
And for Santos Anderson, how would she define the role of a teacher?
Gosh, it's a lot, to be quite honest. Sometimes you get, you're there, you're a mentor, you're there to help the kids, but sometimes there's other things. I have sometimes my students calling me mom, you know, and they're like, oh, sorry, you know. So I feel that we act as a parent, definitely, you know, a role model and a mentor for our students. And I think that's what I think, you know, that I'm here for.
Over 4. Let's raise our hands if we understand. Oh wait, Sam. I saw you were having a hard time with today's lesson. Why don't you stay back? I can help you with the lesson.
Okay, Mr. Red.
Aw, she's so cute. Look, she's my teacher. This is a good sign.
Does everybody understand it?
Remember, there are 5 R's instead of 3, which consists. Nice. Bye, everyone. Be safe. Oh, is everything okay?
Yes, I just want to give you something. I hope you like it. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
The all-new Hyundai Tucson.
2023 Teacher of the Year is presented by Bank of Guam, Cars Plus, and the KUAM Care Force. Special thanks to our community partners, Cowboy Select Care, IP&E, Addis Trust and Investment, Circle K76, and Cowboys Insurance.
On the shore.
That was a very moving performance from the Natibu Dance Academy. Now, what makes this performance so special are the performers themselves. You saw all of them. Beautiful movements, incredible costumes. All are from the Guam Department of Education, including 2 Teacher of the Year finalists, 1 previous winner of the Teacher of the Year, 1 librarian, 1 administrator, school aides, many teachers, and of course students from the elementary, middle, and high school levels. We hope you enjoyed that performance. Now, one of the teachers who happens to be a finalist for Teacher of the Year is joining me now, Miss Joyce Berry from the home of the Islanders. Green and gold represent.
Yes.
Our technical director's from JFK too, so he's really excited right there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Can you tell me what has, JFK has always had, the most support and the school spirit, off the charts and everything. When you found out that you were that you made a finalist for Teacher of the Year, what did the JFK community do?
Oh gosh, they were really great about it. They reached out and they sent their appreciation to me. And I'm still fairly new at JFK. The students were absolutely amazing. They're more excited, and just the support has been overwhelming from everyone.
Mm-hmm. What does it mean to you to be a role model? We saw you in dance and, expressing yourself through the arts and showing that, education takes many forms and everything. But, being in the classroom and being able to have that direct instruction and really see in the eyes of young people that, that you're reaching them and you're making a difference. What does that mean to you?
It actually means quite a lot to be able to reach all my students, especially through the screen, to know that whatever I say, they can take with me and they'll remember it, hopefully for the rest of their lives. It's a huge responsibility, but it's also a great honor.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's always been a real big sense of community, not just at JFK, especially at JFK, but, throughout GDOE. So what does it mean to you when you can, when you can network and exchange ideas and, share interest or share, concerns with your fellow teachers and, have that sense of being able to, to talk about common interests?
That's actually what has really gotten me through this pandemic, is reaching out to my colleagues, my group of teacher friends, and going through it together has really brought us all closer, but also moving forward with education and making sure that we can find the right strategies for our students. And yeah.
Now, a lot of people say, a lot of teachers would say when we were all forced to go into Zoom and, for the last 2 years and, the online thing, it's not the same as being face-to-face in the classroom. But you have excelled teaching English in a regional online program. So how would you actually advocate for, for online education? And it may not be like the same thing, but you've made it work, and obviously you've done very well at it.
I would definitely advocate for the online program, especially for the secondary students. I feel like it is a viable model for students, and it's more accessible rather than just, they can show up. Sorry, I'm very nervous.
No problem.
I feel like it's a very viable curriculum, and it's a very viable option because the students are a lot braver behind a screen, and I feel like I know them more through the screen because they're able to be unapologetically themselves.
Outstanding, and your effort truly is outstanding. So here's more about Joyce Berry. Islanders everywhere, make some noise because one of yours is a finalist for Teacher of the Year.
I'm Mrs. Joyce Berry from John F. Kennedy High School, and I teach English for the regional online program.
Berry has been teaching for the past 8 years and says most of her life she never considered becoming a teacher. That is, until she got into college.
I was just so affected by my professors at UOG, my English professors, and I just fell in love so much with the content that I wanted to share it with others.
When asked if transitioning to online instruction as a result of COVID was difficult, Berry said that was an understatement.
Before we switched to online, GDOE was doing a lot of really great things with CITW and SciUp and all these great initiatives for hands-on learning and in-person learning, and that translation to online, it was very difficult, but I did find some ways to still practice that engagement with my students through the screen.
She says her style of teaching is very open and loves when her students speak up. However, when the shift was made to online and group projects and movement in the classroom was impossible,
I first of all needed to get my students to not be so shy. And so I adapt and I let them talk to me in their own way. So I'll have students that are brave to unmute, and I have students that are brave to put comments in the chat, and then I have students that want to show me that they're trying but are, you know, they have a little bit of social anxiety online, so they comment to me privately or they talk to me after. So I feel like my teaching style is really open to the fact that I know that my students are not only having different learning styles, they also have different levels of comfort online.
And how would Barry define the role of a teacher?
To be guidance counselors, we teach them lessons about life, and I find that to be very important, is that whatever I teach them in English, stories, poems, and whichever, we connect it to what's meaningful in life. Where many teachers are afraid to say to be their friend. I mean, be their friend, but be the right kind of friend that guides them through. Ensure that we counsel them to make the right decisions for themselves and to be the best they can be, especially with whatever cards they're dealt in life and whatever situation we're put in.
My name is Marie Calvo-Monge, CEO of KUAM Communications, and we are a proud sponsor of the Teacher of the Year. The Teacher of the Year program is so important for our community because it really gives recognition to our unsung heroes. Teachers, they inspire, they shape young minds. They are people that have an influence on us for the rest of our lives, and it's only right that we pay them tribute and honor them as they so deserve. KUAM has been proud to be involved with this program for several years now. We are a media sponsor, and prior to the pandemic, we assembled profiles on these teachers to tell their stories. During COVID, we helped the program continue in a virtual way, connecting people via Zoom and via live stream and a broadcast on our TV stations so that the program wasn't disrupted. And so we're really glad to be a sponsor and just to contribute our resources in any way we can so that these teachers continue to get the recognition they deserve. On behalf of KUAM Communications, I'd like to congratulate all the nominees of this year's program and the 2023 Teacher of the Year. Your stories are so inspiring. They highlight your tireless efforts in our community, and you deserve to be rewarded. And I'd also like to just say thank you to all the unsung heroes in our community who are our teachers.
All right, we have had teachers from all over the island. We've had teachers from the central part of the island, of course, the south, and now we are representing the north. So Jigo, born and bred and now teaching at UPI Elementary School, the very well-deserving and the very lovely Keana Mendiola. Half a day, Keana?
Half a day.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. UPI's a wonderful school, I must say. I know that area well. Marianas Terrace, you got a great breeze blowing through there at any given day. What does it mean to you to teach there? And you teach special education. What does the practice of teaching, what does that bring you as a person, as an educator?
I've always felt that I wanted to make a difference in the world. And I think the biggest impact that we can have in the world is to teach the generations to come to be what they need to be. And just to have a small part of that is a very truly rewarding experience and also a very, very big challenge. And because I teach students with disabilities, the challenge is even bigger because I have to find a way to meet their needs and accommodate their actual ways of learning in a way that most teachers don't have to do on a regular basis. They have maybe one or two, and I have a very large number of students with disabilities.
But you have clearly excelled in that, and you're being recognized for that, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. I remember when you were named at the finalist, the ceremony over Cars Plus and Mighty. When they announced your name, you were overcome with emotion, but you were very, very humble. What were you feeling in that moment when they said, you have been named a finalist for Teacher of the Year in recognition of the sacrifice, the early mornings, the late nights, and everything. What were you feeling in that moment?
Well, when I first began as a special educator, I felt invisible, and I was at a different school. And then when I came to UPE, I grew so much based on just what my principals were expecting of me and my coworkers were expecting of me, and I made a lot of friends at UPE. And they just have encouraged me to grow over the years. And so when I got there, I was just fully prepared to cheer everybody else on. I wasn't expecting to be a finalist. I was there just to be a cheerleader. And so when they announced my name, I was completely shocked because, like I said, I've felt invisible over the years. A lot of times the kids with disabilities are put in a corner or they're kind of overlooked because we're embarrassed to look at them. We feel that we're going to be offensive if we look at them, and they're like us. They just have differences like everyone does, and when we're all accepting of each other's differences, that's what makes our world so beautiful. And so when I was there and they announced my name, I was just completely honored and humbled over the fact that I had made it that far. I wasn't expecting it at all.
Well, I appreciate how you said everyone was cheering you, but we as Guamanians, you're a Jigo girl. All of Jigo is cheering for you right now, and all of Guam is cheering for you right now. Because Marianas Terrace, make some noise because one of your own is being considered for Teacher of the Year. Here is Keana's story.
My name is Keana Mendiola, and I am a special education teacher for kindergarten through 2nd grade, and I have been teaching for 18 years.
The UPE Elementary School teacher says she was inspired to get into teaching by students with disabilities while she was attending high school.
I have a friend who is a member of our church who needed special education services when I was in college, and that inspired me to go in that direction.
Mendiola recalls how challenging it was during COVID to ensure her students' needs were being met, especially helping parents teach their kids.
I had to use the online method to do videos and to have other avenues for parents and I could connect. And some of our parents didn't have technology, so the hard copy packets I had to create myself. I couldn't use the district-wide one, so a lot of it was making my own materials and then having to give it to the parents, sometimes going to their house, sometimes meeting at a store, and just being able to meet with that face-to-face and to connect with my parents and my students in that way.
But she said although it was overwhelming, it was a time to learn new things. And when it comes to her teaching style, she describes it as routine, but flexible because she teaches students with special needs.
My lesson will be prolonged for sometimes an entire quarter, so it may sometimes seem redundant or repetitive. But because my students need that repetitiveness and they need that structure, it's something that if I leave the classroom, my paraeducators are able to enforce my lesson even if I'm not physically in the classroom at that time. So it helps to give the kids a safety net. It helps them to feel like they're in control of their environment. It helps with meltdowns. It helps with behavior. And so if the structure falls apart, then what we have to do is be flexible and meet where the kids are at. So if one style of learning or one style of teaching isn't working that day, then I have to change what I'm doing to meet the needs of that kid or that student and be able to just adjust accordingly.
A moment that Mendiola realized she was in the right profession.
Having my students learn a skill. When I was a first-year teacher, we had 3 kids who were just learning their ABCs, and they were also deaf, so they were learning sign language as well. And just seeing their eyes light up when they understood the concepts I was teaching and the glow of satisfaction that I saw on their face made me realize that this was the field that I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
For Mendiola, the role of a teacher
is someone who inspires kids to be all that they can be, no matter what talent they have, no matter what challenges they may come from. The teacher is there to inspire and to just encourage what is already there inside them.
Hyundai Tucson.
Over 4. Let's raise our hands if we understand. Oh wait, Sam. I saw you were having a hard time with today's lesson. Why don't you stay back? I can help you with the lesson.
Okay, Mr. Red.
Aw, she's so cute. Look, she's my teacher. This is a good sign.
Does everybody understand it?
Remember, there are 5 R's instead of 3, which consists. Nice. Bye, everyone. Be safe. Oh, is everything okay?
Yes, I just want to give you something. I hope you like it. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Care, IP&E, Ada's Trust and Investment, Circle K76, and Calvo's Insurance.
Our magical night of crowning this year's Teacher of the Year continues, and we will make that announcement in very short order. But first, gifted and talented is not only the subject that Ceferino Duarosan Jr. teaches, it's also how you can best describe him. This is the only gentleman, the only man we have as a finalist of the year. Also, the only back-to-back nominee for Teacher of the Year. So congratulations twice over.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salas.
All right.
Thank you.
You are really composing yourself right now because we know you're a bundle of energy. You know, you bring a lot of positivity and everybody, I just want you to know that wonderful commercial that we just saw for Bank of Guam, beautiful spot, by the way. That was actually your classroom, right?
Yes, it was. All my students were in my gifted and talented education. 5th grade students were involved in the commercial, and that was my classroom.
Well, it takes a lot of energy, obviously, to teach a GATE class and to basically have young people say, I mean, you know, there are some kids who just like, you know, exhibit, you know, raw ability at a very young age. With other kids, you know, you can say, I know you have a gift in you. You know, you have a voice. Let me help you realize that and you know, use it to the best of your ability. You know,
Yes.
So what do you bring to the classroom in that regard?
You know, I'm just very blessed that because I'm the gifted and talented education teacher, I have the same students every year. They're with me from kindergarten to 5th grade. So I've been with them, the same group of students for the past 4 years. So I'm very blessed. So I know them, I know their families, I know their interests, and if they don't like the lesson that I'm teaching, they'll call me out on it, and I actually have to readjust to what they need. Yeah,
So the students hold the teacher accountable.
Yes, exactly.
And that's wonderful that you actually let
Yes.
them do that.
Of course,
Yeah.
because we have that relationship.
Mhm.
Yes.
So who do you think's going to have more separation anxiety stuff when you see them move on to the next level in their education? Because you've had them for 5 years now. Is it going to be harder for them or harder for you?
Actually, I believe it's me because I've had them for 4 years. So the group that I have now, I've had them for 2nd grade, and it was actually hard for me when one of them moved to Washington State. And yeah, so I think I would have the hardest time letting them go.
Well, it is obviously with a lot of emotion and a lot of passion that you bring the craft of teaching to the classroom, and here is what makes Ceph an outstanding island educator.
Hafade Guahan, Guahu si Ceferino Duarosan Jr. I am the gifted and talented education teacher here at Adacao Elementary School, and I've been working at the Guam Department of Education for the past 22 years.
For Duarosan, it's really special to teach the GATE class.
What I love about teaching the gifted and talented education program is that I have the same students for every year from kindergarten to 5th grade. So I've been the GATE teacher here at Adacao for 4 years. We build on that relationship. We build on that meaningful relationship through the years.
When entering Duarosan's classroom, it's hard not to be inspired.
My classroom, I love to give the opportunity to give everything that I wasn't afforded when I was a student. So when my students come to my classroom, I just love seeing their expressions, and I love their excitement and everything that we do when I post up their work. I love I love the fact that this is their classroom too. It's not only my classroom, it's their classroom. They take ownership, and whatever I do is all because of them.
And just like any educator, when times get overwhelming or stressful, he refers to a quote that holds so much meaning.
One of my motivational quotes of all time is from the great wizard Albus Dumbledore. It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. I just think about the journey that I've gone through when I was a kid, struggling as a struggling reader, and I was inspired by a teacher who believed in me. And so I wanted to, be a teacher myself and inspire kids.
So how does he define his role as a teacher?
My role as a teacher is to be the second parent, to guide my students along the way through their successes, through their failures, to be their biggest cheerleaders. I'm always here for them. That's my role as a teacher.
Duarosan, who was a finalist for Teacher of the Year in 2021, said this year he decided to go through the whole process again.
I wanted to show my students to never give up on your dreams.
Being a finalist this time around is also in memory of his father, who passed away last year.
Win or lose this year, I know I tried for him, and I wanted to dedicate my journey to my late father. And I know that he's looking down, looking down and wishing me luck.
Over 4. Let's raise our hands if we understand. Oh wait, Sam. I saw you were having a hard time with today's lesson. Why don't you stay back? I can help you with the lesson.
Okay, Mr. Red.
Aw, she's so cute. Look, she's my teacher. This is a good sign.
Does everybody understand it?
Remember, there are 5 R's instead of 3, which consists. Nice. Bye, everyone. Be safe. Oh, is everything okay?
Yes, I just want to give you something. I hope you like it. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
The all-new Hyundai Tucson.
2023 Teacher of the Year is presented by Bank of Guam, Cars Plus, and the KUAM Care Force. Special thanks to our community partners, Cowboy Select Care, IP&E, Addis Trust and Investment, Circle K76, and Calvo's Insurance.
Half a day. This is Dr. Benji Santiago, and I have the distinct privilege of being your 2021 and 2022 Guam State Teacher of the Year. I personally would like to commend the 6 finalists, Seferino, Joyce, Keana, Stephane, and Tanya for their hard work and earnest desire to do what they do on a daily basis, and that is teach with purpose and generosity, or what we now call purposity. I am sure that our judges were extremely impressed with the skill and delivery in your classrooms. To the 2023 Guam State Teacher of the Year, a heartfelt congratulations for such an accomplishment. You will be added to a list of esteemed local individuals who, just like you, have worked hard to achieve such a role in our community. As a Guam State Teacher of the Year, you will be enrolled in the National Teacher of the Year program with over 50 other State Teachers of the Year under the umbrella of the Council of Chief State School Officers. There will be a host of activities that you will attend as the official education ambassador for this island of Guam. That includes Washington Week, where you will meet the President and the First Lady. You'll visit many of the Smithsonian museums. You'll attend Space Camp and even a championship experience sponsored by the College Football Playoff Foundation. As a teacher who goes that extra yard in teaching. Additionally, you'll be an advocate for the platform of your choice, as mine has always been teaching with cultural diversity to include students of all races, religions, backgrounds, and color, to allow them that equity they need to continue to be successful regardless of their shortfalls. Soon, you will develop yours, and I will be there to support you, as well as all of the past Guam State Teachers of the Year. But for now, enjoy this win. You deserve it. Congratulations.
Clearly, an inspiring and congratulatory message from our reigning Teacher of the Year, Dr. Benji Santiago himself. Now, Doc, I got to tell you, the last time I was among this many teachers and I was standing in the middle, my mom and dad were basically being called to school saying, your boy's, he's got good grades, but, he doesn't exhibit self-control. But I feel very, very comfortable now.
Well, maybe your teachers remember that day.
Yeah. Well, it's very amazing company that we're in right now. I mean, each one of you, all 6 of you, absolutely, truly, truly outstanding island educators.
Yes, they're so collaborative in that waiting room. It was just unbelievable. They're locking hands, they're hugging, they just have a camaraderie amongst themselves, and they just say, I don't care who wins. I love you all. That's what they all said.
Did you guys all take roll call when you all showed up? Or? Well, this year's Teacher of the Year winner, along with the coveted title, is going to receive a very, very valuable prize package. Some amazing prizes. Please check out.
The very deserving winner of the Teacher of the Year will receive a beautiful glass laddie award that will look great on their shelf or on their desk. And this year's winner will get to drive around in style in the 2022 Hyundai Kona, courtesy of Cars Plus. The 2022 Hyundai Kona has a bold and refreshed new look. The latest tech and convenience features, this small SUV has it all. Inside the 2022 Hyundai Kona sees changes too, and the sophistication from the exterior carries over inside the small crossover SUV. The center stack console was redesigned so that it cascades downward like a waterfall, giving the interior a more horizontal, wider, and spacious appearance. And the winner of the People's Choice Award will enjoy an incredible staycation at the Subaki Tower. A one-night stay plus breakfast for 2 is a perfect way to unwind. Enjoy a drink at the Nunu Bar or take a dip in their infinity pool. And make sure to catch the light show at night. Also, all 6 finalists were presented with a $500 wish list courtesy of the foundation, as well as a 90-minute massage at Bang Tang Spa Guam. A great way to decompress after a long work week or year. Congratulations to this year's winner, finalists, and the People's Choice Award.
Okay, those are truly some great prizes, Dr. B. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen watching right now, everybody watching us on KUAM, on Facebook and YouTube, all 6 of these island educators are really, really composed right now. They could not keep quiet when they were watching those prizes. Subaki Tower, you guys. A car, you guys.
She wants to buy a printer. That's what she wants.
Joyce, you want to get a printer?
Always thinking about their children.
Okay.
Always. Students first.
Okay. Now we are, of course, joined by, once again, we are joined by Stephanie, by Seth, by Keana, by Joyce, by Tanya.
Go Pirates.
There you go. And by Joy. Now, all week long on KUM's Facebook page, we've been encouraging you all to like and People's Choice Award, and the numbers have been tallied, and the People's Choice winner is, by virtue of your votes, Ceferino Duarosan Jr., the winner of our People's Choice. Congratulations, Seth.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who voted on Facebook. Thank you to my fellow candidates. We're all winners.
Okay, those were all real people. Those weren't bots. Those were people making up 500 different profiles and everything. Those were all people that sincerely appreciate your very fine work. So congratulations, Seth.
My coworkers, my parents.
There you go, Adacao alumni too. We are just moments away now, my friends, from finding out who will be the Teacher of the Year. And of course, who better to make the announcement than the man himself, for whom almost 10 years has dedicated his time to Guam's biggest agency. And of course, that is Dr. Benji Santiago as the reigning Teacher of the Year. Doc, real quick, what has the last year meant to you to carry the torch and to be able to represent people like this, true professionals?
Lots of learning, lots of learning. As the honored recipient of last year's title, I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and just meet all of the state teachers of the year, and to be in a room with that magnitude of pedagogical thought, I almost questioned myself, am I in the right room? And I just want the next teacher of the year to experience that. You continue to bond with all of these professionals as well.
You're passing down the lessons that you learned to. Is there any better testament than being a true teacher like that? So, whew. Okay, you guys ready? Yes. You guys want to lock arms once more? Yes. Okay, I don't know if we have enough time to say the novena right now, but you know. Okay. The time is now upon us, and we have Michelle Francois, the Public Information Officer from the Guam Department of Education. And Dr. B, you have the honors of announcing the 2023 Teacher of the Year.
Okay, here we go. Look straight into
Yes, please.
that camera. Okay, here we go. Good luck to all of you. All winners. The 2023 Guam State Teacher of the Year. Lots of staples. Is Stephane Concepcion. Congratulations to the 2023 Guam State Teacher of the Year, Miss Stephane Concepcion.
Congratulations, Stephanie. Oh, congratulations. We're so happy.
You guys are awesome. Teachers, you're so exceptional. I came here to thank you. I would just like to thank everybody, and you guys are such amazing teachers and so well deserving of this as well. You know, there's so many hardworking teachers out there, and I was hoping we'll be one of you guys. You guys are so amazing. Honestly. And thank you to all the hardworking teachers out there. This is for you. I did this for my school and my students. And my students and my family and my kids. Thank you so much for the admin, the faculty and staff, parents, students, GDOE, and my students and all teachers working together, because I didn't come here alone. You know, teachers are together and we work together, and collaboration is my big thing. So hopefully I can still collaborate with you guys and all the amazing teachers at GDO. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Stephanie, you are going to get that car very soon. I hope Talofofo Elementary reserves a real nice parking spot for you too. You certainly deserve it.
Thank you.
Okay, and of course we have some hardware. Come on up, Michelle. Michelle, come on. It's a beautiful trophy.
Congratulations, you are the official Guam State Teacher of the Year for 2023. Congratulations.
Thank you for watching, everybody. On behalf of all of us at KUAM, thank you to the Foundation for Public Education. Thank you to our friends at GDOE. Good night and congratulations to Stephane Concepcion once again. Bye-bye.